friends and family? Welcome to Lover's Quarrel. Here you're going to watch me do some incredible gameplay. My first plan here, hopping right into it, I'm going to take down this kick demon, so I'm going to take a quick drink of water real quick. Yeah, I'm doing this one-handed. I plan to have the chain gunners right there. Yeah, welcome back to Lover's Quarrel. Just had to check I was recording. That's why I alt-tabbed ruined the professionality of this recording. I don't remember what I was gonna say. We're on this map. Map 13. Rating 2. Yeah, I'm opening this back up. This is by not Tyrone. That was what I was gonna guess. Because I remembered I saw this on the text screen last time I played this WAD, which was like a month ago. Really, really, really hammering out that schedule. I got some good news, maybe, hopefully, coming in the near future. I have this disposition where if I if I need something to go well, like a job interview, right? I go to the job interview. I ask, hey, when am I gonna hear back? And they say, okay, Friday. Up until Friday, in my mind, I've already got the job. I guess that's a safety mechanism for my own well-being. I'm a happier person when I pretend like everything's good. Like I can go to the grocery store, I can spend $20 on laundry detergent and be like, yeah, I can afford that. In all actuality, I don't know if I have the job. One of my professional references that I listed on my professional references document informed me the other night that the interviewer called him. That professional reference is my old one, of course. one of my colleagues, one of my work colleagues. So hopefully, things are going good in that department. But I've already made up my mind. I have the job. It's gonna be not exactly minimum. Well, minimum wage is complicated. I take that back. It's not complicated at all. The federal minimum wage, the minimum wage for the whole nation is $7.25, unless you're a server at a restaurant. Then it's whatever they decide, and then you get tip money. It's grand. Minimum wage varies state by state. The cost of living is around $18 in my state, or in my city where I live. Cost of living is $18 on average. Minimum wage is $7, but minimum wage in several other states like California, I'm just gonna shoot out randomly. I imagine they'd have minimum wage. It'd be $15. I'll be making less than that, but I love the way this is lit. This looks incredible. I love this palette so much. It's a good opportunity. It's only part-time, but it's at my school, or my alma mater. It's where I went to college. It's a great jumping off point. I'm in the position right now where I don't really need to worry about my living situation, which I'm thankful for. I've saved for that. So I'm in a good position to be able to just work out what I want to do career-wise. I would love to be able to do what I'm doing right now full-time, which is play video games all day. But something tells me that's a bit of a pipe dream, so I'm not gonna bank on it, even though I'm definitely banking on it right now. Definitely in the near future, once I am getting my finances underway, I really want to start experimenting with more interesting and varied YouTube content. I feel like I want to be a content creator. That's what I'm doing right now. I like to explore, you know, more than just Doom YouTube videos. This is a very, very, very niche market that I am. Ooh, love that sprite or texture rather. I'm not gonna get millions of views, and I'm not gonna make a living making Doom YouTube videos unless I open up a Patreon, which maybe. But these playthrough videos, although I will continue to do them, are rather limited in terms of the scope of the content that I want to make. Like, this isn't the end all be all. I want to experiment more with some of my other hobbies, like Warhammer, painting. But I don't want to just do straightforward, like, start to finish video. I want to, like, really go get zany and have you not expect what's going to come from the video. So I'm going to do what every play tester should do and talk about what I just played. Fun level. I like it. Tyrone always does a good, like, enjoyable level. I never have to struggle to beat them. I always know when I open a map from Tyrone, I will finish it, and all of my organs will function, and I am grateful for that. I'm very grateful. He's not Moomy. Moomy is mean. I like Moomy's map though. That's what I really appreciate about these PWADs. One, they have my name on it. Two, there's a great variety of mappers and flavors of mappers that come with these megawads. The Lover's Quarrel, I've really enjoyed. I'm really going to enjoy Lunacy. I did a quick run through and just poked my head in every map. There's always a good just like variety. And yeah, this map is a fun map in multiplayer too. Great rocket launcher bonanza. But yeah, let's Rock Bottom Relationship by H. Love the name. This map was very dark. I actually don't really. This is a map I never really got to play too much of in all the multiplayer tests we did. So my goal right now is to find something that's that. There are 200 monsters in this. Oh, my wrist hurts. My neighbor came to my door a few hours ago, and she was just letting me know that she'd be gone for the next like 2 weeks, and that her parking spots were like open for guests if like we were to have anybody over. I'm like, oh yeah. And I segued that into talking about some furniture that she offered to give away that was in her backyard. So we go back there, and there's like a chair and some like 2 sofas that are just like covered in like backyard shit, and then some tables. But those sofas either like had a patrol of wasps, a single wasp, or like a nest of them. Because I started getting swarmed with wasps. Thankfully, only one attacked me, but he stung me twice. Once on my oh god, that hurts. Right below the back of my hand, and then like a little bit further down on my wrist the second time, and then he just kind of like stuck on me like stink on shit. Because at first I got like a quick sting. I'm like, ow, and it like didn't stop hurting. I'm like, that hurts. Why does this hurt? Why did I jump down here before I find the rocket launcher? Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. But she's like, oh god, no. We go inside to her place, and she gave me some baking soda to rub on the wound, which helped. I hope. It helped because a kind friend offered, and it helped me feel better. Because it wasn't that like there was any mystical I genuinely do not know if my arm would have been better or worse had I put baking soda on it, but like, this kind woman was helping me with my wound, Or, I mean, it's. I feel it's a bit garish to call a wasp sting a wound, really. But regardless, it was nice that she was willing to give some of her very, very valuable Arm & Hammer baking soda to put on my arm. But when we were inside, he was still clinging to me, so she hit me a bunch with the fly swatter and I died. What a shitty animal. A wasp. Bees are cool, right? Like they're pollinators, right? They help with like the rain cycle or whatever. But fucking wasps, what do? That's the thing I don't get about spiders, right? Like people are like, oh, spiders are cool. They get rid of all the other bugs, but I don't know. I ain't never once seen a fucking spider eat another bug, you know? Like I've never witnessed that. Now I don't know if that's because I'm not really watching spiders all that much, or if I'm like, you know, really taking interest in their like hobbies or whatever. But dude, there's just something about them. There's something that I just every time I see a spider, I instinctually, like, it's in my blood. I'll see them and then I'm just fear. You know what I mean? Like they're just disgusting creatures on several levels. The main one just being the fact that it's alive and crawling. Oh shit! I didn't make a save point. Yeah, this baby's on Id Games. I think I don't really have any room to give comments. One thing I would say, if you're gonna give me a weapon, I think it's best practice to have that weapon be in a lit sector so I can see it right off the get-go. Because your eyes are always gonna go to the brightest spot. Like I'm looking at this evil eye, not really looking at the shotgun. That's just design tips. But spiders, man, like oh, another thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I've been just every now and then there'll be like a game or a movie or whatever that I'll just start watching a bunch of videos for. My current fixation is Shadow of War. I have no intentions of ever purchasing or playing that game, but I've watched the cutscenes, right? Shelob, Lord of the Rings, right? Shelob is like a big fucking spider whose like whole deal is, hey, I'm a big evil spider. I like eating things because I'm evil. That's the character. But in the game, they made her like this ancient witch from the past. It was like Sauron's lover, and it's dumb. It's cool. I like the idea of like a spider woman who gives prophecies. Like a spider is like eyes, you know, sees a lot of different things. It doesn't really connect with the film or the book, for that matter. The lore of Shelob just being like, yeah, I'm a big spider. Die, Frodo. Because, like, she actually seems pretty chill in Shadow of War, you know? Kind of gal you'd want to have decorate your home, you know? I don't know what the fuck that means, but you know what I mean. Like, it's like, hey, girl, you want to go thrift shopping? You can go check out some furniture. Shelob in the movie is a big spider. That's the kind of girl you want to step on. Not really a girl either. Just kind of a big fucking spider. That's something interesting, like being arachnophobic. Like I do not like Shelob at all, given that she's a spider. But I don't really mind watching the movies. Like I never watched the Harry Potter films because of Aragog, or I think his name is. There's something about the way that spider's designed, it just freaks me out. But Shelob is just goofy enough looking. Like oh hell. Ah shit. Chain gunners, strike again. Oh, mine leaving. I gotta do it. I can't be picky. Shelob from the Lord of the Rings movies, right? Like, bothers me, right? But, like, it's not as creepy as a real spider. And it's the eyes. It's just the eyes. Like, there's emotion on the face of Shelob, right? With that scowl. It looks almost, like... Looks like the fucking guy from, Monsters, Inc. You know? This just kind of got that old man, like, to it. Which, you know, isn't scary. But, the spider from, Harry Potter. Which, fuck Harry Potter, by the way. I do not like Harry Potter. On principle. Not out of any political thing. It's just, I think it's, I think it's lame. I don't like wizard school. You know? Wizardry is supposed to, I like dark wizardry. Like, I gotta summon my, I'm just saying things now. Like, there's no substance to this speech. I'm just talking, trying to fill dead air. No, but Aragog, right, has, like, the realistic spider eyes, which are just, like, perfectly round and dark and black and soulless. Like a doll, you know? I don't like that. It freaks me out, especially when, like, you know you're being watched. And not in the sense of, like, oh, there's something that I can't see that is watching me, but, like, something that doesn't look real. You know, there's no life behind it, but it's watching you. Like a security camera. Fuck spiders, man. That's weird, though, how spiders just kind of, like, by default to a lot of people. Myself included. I guess it's more conditioning. Yeah, it's a conditioning thing. I was about to say, like, oh, I just instinctually hate spiders, but no, I think that's a learned behavior. I got that from my mom. Like, I'm sure I would have thought they were pretty sweet. Yeah, because, like, I know, like, the other day I had a friend over, and there's a spider in my Skittles. And I was like, kill it. Somebody other than me, kill it, right? And he's like, oh, cool. And he just picks it up. And takes it outside. And I don't get how... Yeah, I don't think arachnophobia... I mean, there's no way to really prove it. I can't say for certain whether or not it's like an instinctual, like, oh, this thing is evil and bad, I hate it. Because you have to know what a spider is, you know? I guess, you know, there are some things that humans, and for that sake, all creatures of Earth will just innately know is bad news. Like a big fucking lion with big teeth who's like, rah, I'm gonna eat you, right? That it is instinctually, like, you're going to, oh my goodness. Your brain, when you see something with big teeth and big claws, it's coming towards you, you're gonna think, oh, that's death, right? Insects, I genuinely don't believe, I could be completely wrong. I've done no research on this, so I could be full of shit. Take my words with a grain of salt. There's nothing, like, hardwired in my brain, right, that can distinguish. There's no code. Fuck. There's no source code that tells me, oh, the six-legged, yeah. Like, there's no code in my brain that's like, oh, the six-legged insect is not as bad as the eight-legged one. Like, oh, this species, I need to dislike this species. No, I feel like a lot of why arachnophobia is so common is both conditional to, like, how spiders behave as creatures, and as to why it being passed down from, like, person to person. Like, my mom being, like, horribly arachnophobic, partly due to her suffering from spider bites, but again, like, everything that we know about plants and animals comes from what people with, like, rocks and stones were fucking around with 10 million years ago. 10 million's a bit of an overstatement, I should add. You know, like, if I were to go outside, if I were to go to any like foreign nation, Sri Lanka, right? That's the first one I think of, and go walk around in the wilderness, I would not fare fairly well. And to be fair, I would not fare well out in the wilderness here either, but I would stand a chance because I know the wilderness of my peoples. I know the wilderness of North America, particularly East Coast North America, better than I do Sri Lanka. I know what animals would show up. Like, I know the variety of spiders, you know, more or less. Like, I know which ones to avoid. If I were to, yeah, like, Australia has, like, your brain does not have the source code imprinted to be like, oh, like, this is what a black widow is. You gotta fucking learn what that is. Like, everybody knows, like, snakes are bad news, but you don't instinctually know, like, oh, like, it has its head is triangular, that's a venomous one, right? No, you don't know that. That's something you learn. And that's something that you learn from what people have knowledge, something you learn from what people have knowledge of over, like, millennia of trial and error. It's like, hey, like, how did we learn how to make beer? That's just some guy fucking around with burying grass in the dirt and letting it collect water over, like, 100 years, and then, you know, one day it tasted good, right? Yeah, that's how beer's made. You bury grass. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of people say certain things about disgust and fear. Maybe not specifically with spiders, but with several things, items, nouns. The human brain. And again, I'm not a fucking scientist. I haven't done any research to prove this. This is just kind of like my thought process on the matter. I don't think that there's any, like, blueprint for, like, ooh, oh, we're gonna go to Slaughter Town. There's no blueprint for, like, what spiders to watch out for, right? Even then, like, I think everybody just kind of gets at ants are cool. You know? Not everybody likes ants. It's not universal. Arachnophobia is not a universal constant among everybody. That's what's so difficult about a lot of brain sciences and a lot of like I don't personally believe a lot of that texture above the exit sign is not unpegged, therefore it is not aligned with the wall. Just thought I'd point that out. I don't think a lot of brain science is about, like, oh, people feel this way about this thing. It's just the way they are. Like, I think a lot of how we behave as people comes from thousands of years of passing along opinions. There's nothing... and each culture is unique. There's no, like, human universal for a lot of things. Like, people aren't gonna like spiky things when they sit on them. People aren't gonna like the cold, you know. I don't know. They may prefer the cold to hot. It just depends on when they grew up. But like arachnophobia. Like I can't disprove nor I don't have the numbers or anything to back up what I'm saying or the letters, but my own like philosophy on the matter, I don't think there's anything innate about the nature of spiders that makes people like afraid of them. Like arachnophobia is not, I do not think, at least, like a genetic or a natural phenomenon. It's entirely learned, I think. Because again, like the human brain doesn't know what a spider. Like your fucking, sorry to be vulgar, your spermoids don't have DNA in them that's like, oh yeah, all right, there's a cell in your sperm that tells the child like, oh, be afraid of spiders. Like no. There's this, the brain. There's no cell for spiders. There's no DNA for spiders, or of the knowledge of spiders. Right? You can't like instinctually be afraid of something that your body does not have knowledge of. You have to learn about that out from like external stimuli, if you get what I'm following. I have no idea what I'm talking about either. This is all just like rambling. Is this the end? Yeah. Thanks, H. Well, there are the remaining enemies. Yeah, welcome to my TED Talk. Oh, fun map. Cool map. I did feel like there was just the escalation from the first fight being when you get the rocket launcher to the plasma gun fight was a little too hyperbolic, and that it ramps up too quickly. Like, when you get the rocket launcher, you fight some enemies, it's manageable, and then when you get the plasma gun, it's like, oh, this is a big fight. And then the BFG after. The BFG feels like a more natural, like, jump in terms of difficulty, but not from the rocket launcher to the plasma. That's my one nitpick. It's a bit dark, but trial and error. Sorry, I'm texting. Professional video quality. How long has it been? I can check. Only 30 minutes. I'm going to go to the next map, and potentially the secret ones. Again, like everything that I've said about, I could ask my roommate. He's a psychology major. Everything I've said about, I'm going back to the spider bullshit. Everything I've said about, it's something I'm interested in learning more about. So if you have any knowledge or expertise on this matter, please comment. I want to dive more into this idea. I buy that there are things, like vague concepts that your brain would understand, like red is bad. I mean, even then, like that's something that you learn by association. Again, like how much of how we behave and what we do. I'm gonna go to the next map while talking. From Pekka with Love by Pekka. Again, I'm gonna ramble on again about philosophy. I'm gonna continue that. God damn it. There we go. So much of what we know about ourselves, I don't know how much of that. I personally don't believe that there is a blueprint that we're born with that we grow up to fulfill. I feel like a lot of what how we behave comes from what we learn, and eventually what we unlearn if it's wrong. And just people view the world differently based on how they're raised. How we got to this from Shelob, I don't know, but yeah, arachnophobia. I don't buy that it is an innately human trait to dislike or even fear insects. I feel like it is something that it's a logical outcome I'll get to the map in a second. I apologize. I need to get this out of my brain. I need to air this out to the void. Cut me some slack here, Joe. This is basically meditation for me. It's a logical outcome of the stimuli that you encounter through your life, right? Like, as you grow older, you have to deal with insects bullshit, right? And then you're like, I fucking hate insects. Like, they just kind of get everywhere. They just kind of crawl, and like, you assume like, oh, that's nasty. Like, there's, you know, like, be crawling through poop. You know, you just kind of get that there's badness associated with that. Like, mosquitoes just suck because they make you uncomfortable. Bees, though, people like bees because they are pollinators. That is not a natural conclusion that you reach without years of study, right? Like, in my opinion, I don't think ancient humans could look at like a bee landing on a flower and be like, yeah, he's contributing to like the water cycle. It's not the water cycle. It's funny. It's a funny bit. You know what I mean? All right, 169 enemies, 3 secrets. One of them is secret exit. But like, what like, people like bees. Bees are like cool culturally because they contribute to they are a very, very important part of our ecosystem. But the human brain, just instinctually, blueprint, does not know what an ecosystem is. That's not a core concept. Our core concept is fear and love, emotions, right? There's no there is knowledge. Like, we do have core knowledge, but I don't feel like a lot of that is tied to nouns. Like, we learn things about nouns, like what an arm is. Like, we just kind of know how to use it. Eventually, God, the brain is complicated, and I know next to nothing about it. I'm talking out of my ass, like, so far out of my ass right now, and I'm trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. I'm like full of shit right now. I'm hoping that I'm not full of shit. I feel like there is some basis of logic behind everything that I've been saying for the past 15 minutes. God. Woo. Ah! Yeah, like, again, this is something I feel like should be comfortable to discuss on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to shy away from it. Concepts like gender, right? Like, it's a weird idea to me to think about, specifically a big one being toys. Like, boy toys are like trucks and dinosaurs and shit, and then girl toys are like kitchen sets and like the dishwasher. There's a very, very, very clear cultural kind of masculinization and feminization of, oh shit, Pekka, why? Fuck. There are very clear genderizations of the that's not a word. Like, boy toys and girl toys are very distinct. But, like, do you like if you're a boy, do you like boy toys because, like, there's, like, a part of your boy brain that they activate? Or do you like them because you are given them with the understanding that I am a boy and I will like this monster truck because it is a boy toy. It is made for me, right? And then you just naturally, like, start to like it, right? The fucking brain doesn't know what a monster truck is, right? You know what I mean? Like, there's no monster truck gene that makes you more or less like monster trucks. But there's something in the brain, in your DNA, that makes you more inclined to like Monster Jam over Barbie. I don't know. I personally think a lot of it is very cultural. Same with arachnophobia. Like, my mom is justifiably terrified of spiders, so spread that to me. Like, I feel like I remember a time where I wasn't as scared of spiders as I am now. I feel like it's gotten worse because I've like did I save? I didn't. I did. Good. I feel like it's I needed to talk about these maps so much more. I've got ideas. I've got plans. I've got plans, people. I missed the rocket launcher. I've always loved the way this map looks. Oh, God damn it. This is woo. One of my favorite spectacles in this WAD. Plays really interestingly too. I want to play more of this deathmatch. I wish this was like 2012 Call of Duty where I could just load up a match instantly. I don't want to start talking about Call of Duty. I've got things to say. All right, back on the topic of toys. I'm not a fucking brain doctor, so I can't speak with expertise. I personally don't buy the idea that there are things that you just innately like based on who you are or what's in your pants, right? I don't think that there's anything innate. Like, there's nothing that, like cooking, right? Like, I'm a guy and I fucking love cooking. Cooking's great. I love doing the dishes. I love doing laundry, right? But like a lot of like play school girl toys are just like housewife shit, you know? And I really liked Transformers growing up. And so I played with Transformers. So I think our lives are so complicated. They're like, how much, like think about it. Every time you open YouTube, this is not me shilling for advertisers, but pay attention to like every 5-second ad you get. There is a lot that can fit in 5 seconds. That is not a lot. That is not a lot of time. Yet it's a lot of time. You can fit a lot in 5 seconds. Like, think of how many words you can say in 5 seconds, and you know how many sentences you can fit in with that amount of words. A sentence can have a lot of weight to it, a lot of ideas attached to it, and the time it takes. This is a very roundabout way of explaining what I'm trying to get at. Basically, our brains are very powerful, and we receive a lot of stimuli, like a lot. So not everybody's gonna have the same experience, like the same exact second to second, moment to moment life that the person sitting next to you on the bus is gonna have, right? Like it's gonna be a completely unique experience for everybody. That being said, taking that into account, every single person is going to develop into a radically, maybe not different person, but there's going to be a unique personality attached to each person based upon the unique stimuli that they received for every single second that they are conscious, right? Which, holy shit. I've actually got to respond to that. That's some important text. My partner got a almost double pay increase, which is good for him. But like, what could explain my liking of a particular intellectual property, like it gravitating towards me, doesn't have to do with anything about what I was born with as a person, right? Like in terms of raw, bloody flesh and bones and DNA. I don't think there's any gene in my body that makes my brain act a certain way. I think it's all based upon like what sort of stimulus I received. Like, what movies did I watch when I was really young? Like, I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo when I was really young, right? Which I think gave me a natural propensity towards horror properties or scarier, spookier things. Ghoulish, kind of gothic media. I don't think it's as simple as you are X, ergo you like Y, right? It's not that simple, which I feel like this is like a core level philosophy. I don't feel like I'm breaking new ground by saying any of this. I feel like I really hope that once I'm done with the spiel and it reaches the millions and millions of people watching it, that everybody is just gonna respond like, yeah, no shit. There's a secret behind me. I know about it. I will at least want to get the BFG. Oh, it still hurts. Alright, that's the dis exit. I think that white stripe should not damage you. I apologize profusely if your name is Picatomissimus and you really didn't want to hear me talk about philosophy while playing a Doom map. I'm enjoying the map, and I like talking about random shit. I've talked to some people before who disliked people rambling while they play Doom levels. I feel like it's one of my strengths as a Doom tuber. Ugh. If I'm watching a playthrough, right, like what engages me personally is conversation. Like, I really like talking to people. I feel like, oh, I have one of the secret levels. I forgot about that. Holy shit, I'm gonna play one of mine. Excuse me. Jesus. Alright, how do I get that big fucking gun? What's that last enemy, actually? Meat door. I feel like it's a strength to be able to, like, listen. It's almost like a podcast, you know? Like, I'm not the... I'm good at Doom, but I'm not fucking Decina, right? And I've never played this level before, so I can't... I personally don't feel like I'm going to be able to come up with any interesting commentary. Like, oh, imps, I gotta shoot the imps. Ooh, okay, like, that's boring. Like, I feel like I'm able to hold a conversation while talking about something completely different to what I'm seeing, personally speaking. If you disagree, please voice your opinion and let me know what content you like. Yeah, comment down below, like and subscribe. I'm losing my train of thought again. That's a misalignment. I have to delete. I'm gonna ban Pekka from my Doom server now. Yeah, I don't really know what the best way to go about recording these levels are, or is. I feel like it's a lot more simple than I may be thinking about it. Yeah. Okay. I remember there was a way to get this in the multiplayer map. There's like a door somewhere over here that opens up. It's like a big warp gate. It's actually back here, I think. I want to say it is. Yeah, I personally believe these videos are stronger when I just kind of like ramble on and talk. Of course, I think that it's important that I do address the level. I think it's important that anybody addresses the level when doing one of these playthroughs. Right now, I'm kind of flummoxed at where this BFG secret could be. I'm glad I got to use that word today. Oh, that's cruel. That's insatiably cruel. It's insatiable. That's not a proper adjective, really. I don't believe. Yeah, I'm not going for any percent right now. Well, I am going for any percent, and that percent is whatever I get. I'm not going for 100%. 100%'s like, it's important that every map can be. But it's also not like my goal. There was a thread on Doom World a few months ago where people were like, yeah, like I have more fun when I play levels without having to find every secret. And like, yeah, I look for secrets. I think like the best secrets, especially like it doesn't make sense to me. Why would you would look for secrets if you're pistol starting every level? And you finish the level and you like want to go look for the secrets. Like, you're not going to take that shit into the next level with you. That's one of the I can't really call it a flaw of Doom, really. I'll talk about the level in a second. I need to talk about Doom for a second. It's not a flaw of Doom to say that like there's a progression issue, because Doom was made in 1992, right? Or 93. I don't really remember. It's the first shooter. It's the first-person shooter, right? Like, Wolfenstein 3D exists, but it's whatever. This is the first, like, real stab at it that worked really well and people liked and still play to this day. Hence me. I personally, like, I can't criticize the design choices for a game that's almost 30 years old. Actually is 30. It will be 30 this year. Jesus. The thing, and this is something that I don't like about Doom Eternal. Secrets in a level, I think, are at their strongest when you're naturally progressing through the level, either through a linear level or through a level where you do a lot of natural backtracking, which I really like when there's that in Doom. That's something I really like about this level, is it loops into itself really nicely. A lot of these levels do that, given that they're deathmatch. This level's a great example of that. It literally like loops. When you access new like portions of places you've been to before, I love seeing that in Doom. When you find secrets naturally along the beaten path, or maybe off the beaten path a little bit, those are really strong secrets. Having to like hunt for a secret in order to quote unquote complete the level is like, personally, if I'm recording a long video, like an hour-long video, and I'm playing like several levels, I don't want to say waste my time, but I don't want to spend that time looking for secrets when I could play the next level and let the person in the next video or next level, let them know what I think at that level, right? Even though I'm sitting at this intermission screen talking about Doom. Excellent level, Pekka. I really enjoyed it, as always. You have a very... It almost sounds like an insult, which I don't mean it like an insult, but you have a very unique way of mapping that I always appreciate seeing. Always a lot of stuff outside of the box coming with you, which is very fun. I'm going to extend what I was saying in Not Tyrone's map. Like, there's always a great grab bag of mapping styles, and Pekka is, given that he's the project lead of this project, I say has earned a fair bit of a good reputation with Pineapple Under the Sea Studios, especially with the odd maps that you again, that sounded like an insult, but if we were to open up Anniversary Under the Sea right now and play some of your maps, those maps are odd, and in the good way though. Like, they're avant-garde. They're very Dadaist. I'm hoping that you're catching on to my hand signals that my camera's not recording, because I need your help with hot soapy water.
Yeah, always a pleasure to play your levels. I'm ending the video here because this is 50 minutes long. I will be playing the secret levels in the next video, which I could do an outro. Or